Circle, you know what that means, folks. We have another Money Moves edition for you. So, let's get it kicked off. Before we do, Wendy, how was your week?
Amazing.
And why was it amazing?
Because we got to hang out with our team in Vegas.
Yeah, we just had a trip. We do a couple team trips every year. And this one we had, I think, about 20 people there, maybe. So it was a little lighter crowd, but it was awesome. We took a long weekend in Vegas, did some breakout sessions and things like that. Again, iron sharpens iron. I love this stuff. You should be doing it in your life as well. I'm talking to the viewers there. Obviously, Wendy was out there with our crew. So good stuff. And I'm excited. So we're kind of building on that a little bit. We talked a little bit about that while we were out there, but we're going to be talking about how to build a winning financial mindset. We're focusing on the financial piece. So we're actually going to get started on that in just a minute. Do me a favor, click that little like button down below or the heart or whatever you see on your social media. And if you're not subscribing to our YouTube channel, shame on you, because there's a lot of good tips. We're creeping up on our 100th episode. So we've been doing this about 2 years now. And again, give us a minute. We're going to get started here and talk about how you can build a winning financial mindset. And we're back. I love that intro. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's talk about this. I mean, we're going to do this in a two-parter because we keep these down, or try to keep them down to around 15 minutes. So there are actually 8 steps. So we'll talk about 4 today and then 4 next week on Money Moves. So make sure you come back. But, again, when it comes to building that mindset or being financially successful, it starts with where your head's at, right? Mm-hmm. If you're focused on the negative and things like that, it's you're pulling in that energy. If you follow that line of thought or just your mindset, and nobody wants to be around that, right? Everybody wants to come to the light, not the darkness, kind of thing. And it's the same way with your money. And so as we go into this, I want everybody, if you're watching this, our viewers, if you're watching this after the fact, on a replay, take some notes and start really evaluating and apply this stuff. And we actually have something, a bonus item for you. We'll talk about that in the second episode that you can actually download to kind of help you out with that. So number one, Wendy, and I know you're great at doing this, is practicing gratitude, right?
Yeah. Gratitude. Yep. I mean, to me, everything starts with gratitude. So about 3 years ago, I started journaling every morning and writing 10 gratitudes. And it's just a total mind shift, I think, sets the tone of your whole day. And it's funny because when the days that I don't do it, I notice, like right off the bat, I notice it. And so, gratitude, being thankful, I break gratitude up into 3 parts. I'm grateful for some of the struggles. I always show gratitude so we're speaking financially, right?
Yeah.
Like I've had those super low lows financially, but I'll have gratitude for them because of what it's helped me achieve or how it's helped me grow.
Yeah.
So, and then having gratitude, for the good things that have happened, right? The blessings that, if we're talking money, that financially we've received. And then the third thing I like to do gratitude on is future things that haven't happened yet. So a little bit of vision casting in my gratitude.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second. But going back to that gratitude piece, it's things that are happening. I always remind people it could always be worse, right? No matter what you're going through, whether it's financially or life, there are people out there that wish they had your life, right? And one of the keys to happiness is focusing on the gratitude too, because if you're not grateful for what you have, even though it may be small compared to the person next to you or whatever the case may be, talking financially, it's one of those things that how can you ever expect to be happy if you're always focused on what you don't have? And you see that when people get a promotion or they get something this, or they get a new car, a new house, something like that. You have that situation where, it's great at first, or that new job, it's great at first. And then eventually it's like, oh, well, then I'm focused on what I don't have rather than being grateful for what I have. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people, especially in American society, we struggle with because we're all in that, hey, that now, right? I want it now. That instant gratification, and we're always comparing ourselves to the Joneses, and then doesn't help that you've got the marketing industry out there, pushing all this stuff in your face 24/7. But that number one item is practicing gratitude. Number two, are the daily affirmations, financial affirmations, right? This is something that's relatively new to me. But as I've been kind of going through that exercise, it's actually working. Again, I think it's all about developing that mindset. Where's your head at in the game too? And I know, Wendy, you've been coaching people and things like that on the affirmations, not just financially, but just across the board on businesses and things like that. But I love it. I love it. I mean, I think maybe you can add a little more granularity into that.
Well, I always go back to in the Bible, right? It's biblical. It says there's life and death in the power of the tongue. What we say matters. And it's, I coach people on this, I call it the programming wheel, right? Like our programming influences our thoughts, which influences our feelings, which influences our actions, which brings about certain results. And a lot of times we're in this pattern of, thoughts, actions, results. And to break that, you use your mouth. You practice affirmations and start speaking and speaking truth. Like I like to reference personally, because of my faith, the word of God, and speak truths that God says over us, right? And so, but saying those things out loud starts to train your brain, right? You say it until your brain starts to believe it. So I think there's a ton of power in affirmation.
Well, and that's the thing. And that's one of the, like you look at, and I don't want to get too far into, understanding the brain, how it works and stuff like that. But your subconscious does not know the truth from, falsehood, right? So you speaking out loud, your ears hear it, right? And your brain like, okay, that's what we're doing now. Yeah, I'm going to make $1 million, or I'm making $1 million this year, or I'm making $500,000, or whatever the case may be, or I'm financially independent, right? I'm debt free, and those are the things you start saying that, and it. I don't understand how it works, folks, but I'm telling you, it works, right? It works, and it may sound a lot of you, oh, that's kind of hocus pocus. It works, all right. I don't understand it. It works. Same thing with my radio. I turn it on the car, satellite, whatever. It works. I got airwaves. I can't see it, but it works, right? Same thing with this. So don't overanalyze it. Just do it. So the third thing is developing that money mantra. And that kind of ties into, what we were just talking about a little bit, but, the money mantra is a little different, and kind of your focus. And it's a powerful way to stay focused on those financial goals and values, right? It's a phrase or a statement that guides you to financial choices and behaviors. And again, just kind of going into it, I trust the universe, or trust God's abundance and prosperity, and I will attract that with gratitude, right? And so just kind of some things in that, that one to me, it was a little bit more focused than the affirmations, the financial affirmations. And a lot of people, for example, are afraid to be wealthy for whatever reason. And I know, who's afraid to be wealthy? Well, a lot of people aren't necessarily afraid of wealth, but they are afraid of what comes with that, right? That responsibility. It goes back again, biblical to, those that are given much, much is expected, right? I'm kind of paraphrasing that a little bit, but, I release all fear and anxiety around the money and trust that the universe always provides for me. Right. So, it may be a fear of having money or fear of lack of money, things like that. But again, it's that money mantra, that daily kind of reminder to yourself of what's going on financially in your world. You got the affirmations kind of speaking into existence, and then the money mantra kind of ties it together, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring this one up, because I just realized I've been practicing the last couple of weeks something that I'm like, I guess that's a money mantra. Because it's not an affirmation like this list of things I say, but I keep reminding myself that God is the source and I find the resource, right? Yeah. Like I'm out. It doesn't, like, I'll find the resources to make the money, but I just reminding myself that God's always the source and he always provides. Yeah. And the resource may change, but God remains the same. That's been like every time I start to feel anxiety or whatever creep up, I remind myself of that like I do my part and he does the rest. And that brings me peace.
Yeah, and that's a good example. I mean, and it's one of those things that whether you are afraid of losing money or lack of money or losing a job or something like that, you can go into a panic spiral pretty quickly. And again, having that money mantra, and I always tell this people, there are so many ways out there to make money, and I've said this on this show before too. I mean, it's amazing to me how much money you can make in the United States, or as far as the opportunity. Now, the dollar amount may be different. I mean, I had somebody that sent it to me as a joke, but there are actually companies, and this is a little disgusting, right, for 10 a.m. in the morning, but there are companies out there that you can literally make money by selling them your number two. I'll just put it that way, right? Put it in a box, send it to them, and it's up to $500 a load, I guess, for lack of a better analogy. So that's what I'm saying, and I'm not suggesting anybody do that, but there are ways to make, if you're driven by that and want to earn an income and stuff.
I mean, some guy became a millionaire by selling pet rocks. So
that's true. You're dating yourself a little bit. That was a little before my time, but I saw that on the History Channel where, back in the 70s, that this guy sold rocks. He put them in a box, and they were washed, and people bought them, and he literally made millions selling rocks. So, I mean, again, if you've got the creativity and the drive, and you surround yourself with people and stuff like that, and again, having that money mantra, you can do it too. Not sell rocks, but maybe sell your number two or whatever the case may be. But I guess just that constant reminder that there's something bigger at work here.
Yeah.
And it's, even though you may feel like your back's against the wall, there are always options and things like that. And that's where, again, it's great to be plugged into different groups and things like that, where you can get a second set of eyes on something. I know I have my accountability partners and things like that, but again, that just having that money mantra, that money mindset of, okay, I'm going to have success. I've run into a little, because the universe will throw a curveball at you too. If you're breaking out, and I call it the enemy because I'm a Christian, right? The enemy will throw something at you to stop you or to stifle you. It's whenever you're about to break out or break through, it always seems like something bad happens, an unexpected expense or something like that, kind of puts you back in your place, and just fight through that, folks. Fight forward, right? Fight forward. So the last one, and I love this one, and we do this every year too, is having actual visualizations of that financial success, right? And I know, we did the vision boards. We do them every year. I love that, where it's kind of not just on money, but our business and kind of your family life and stuff like that. And you actually see it with your eyes. Because again, it's the same thing. You're kind of tricking your mind into, I see it, right? When you hear something, it's like, yeah, okay, I see it. But when I actually see something, that visualization, I know it's true because I saw it. And again, you're kind of life hack there, tricking your mind into kind of, okay, visualizing that success and things like that. And we do it with pictures and things, but I know I've had friends go, they've wanted a Tesla, or they've wanted a really nice higher end car. They'll go test drive the car and visualize them and feel it and smell the leather, in the car and stuff like that, or maybe the house or whatever the case may be. I'm sure you've got some stuff to add on that, Wendy.
Yeah. The whole visual. So I do a video every year. I do a vision video. I also do the vision board, but I love to speak about things that haven't happened yet as if they already are.
Yep.
And somebody said this to me last year, and I thought it was so interesting because I'd never looked at it this way. I've heard people say things, and I know this is what they mean, but this kind of brought it to life for me. Like, think about what you have right now: your house, your car, your whatever material things, whatever vacations you've taken recently, like all the things that you've earned, you've achieved that are in the physical, right? All of that started here.
Yep.
Physical is the last place that you have it, right? Like, physical is the last place. It's got to start like in your heart and in your mind, and be a vision first, a want, a desire, before it ever actually comes to be. And so to me, I thought that was really powerful. So if I'm more focused on what I am seeing in my future, you've probably heard the phrase, what you focus on expands, right?
Yes.
So like, where I put my focus and my visualization and my energy, those are the things that I'm going to bring about.
Yeah, exactly. No, that is so true. That is so true. It's, again, and that's what a mindset is. If you're not sure what a mindset is, it's kind of shifting your course and your mind on how you think of things, and looking at these ideas, these concepts when it comes to financial, because that's what we're talking about here on Money Moves, but really looking, okay, what do I want to accomplish? What, and where am I starting at? What am I grateful for that I have given this opportunity? The fact that you're watching us and you're, most of you are living in the United States. What a great land of opportunity. I mean, people are literally trying to get into this country for the opportunity that you already have just by, being born here or, moving here or whatever the case may be. So, again, to recap this, and we'll have some stuff for you at the next episode to kind of share with you. But number one, practice gratitude, right? Number two, it's those repeating those daily affirmations, and don't just do it once, but daily. And I would say them out loud too, because again, that's you speaking into existence, speaking into the universe. And it may seem silly the first few times I did it. I know I felt silly, but like I said, it works. So I'm willing to try it. Number three is develop that money mantra. Okay. And then number four is visualize those financial things. And whether that's doing a vision board on your finances, hang it next to your desk or on your mirror where you brush your teeth so you see it every day, it's just a constant reminder for you. So those are the top 4 out of 8 of what you should be doing to change your money mindset and build that winning financial mindset. So I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, please give us a thumbs up or a heart, or like I said, whatever platform you're on, show some love. Go out to our YouTube channel and subscribe. That's blackswanmoney.com, and subscribe to that channel. And as always, we hope this was helpful to you. I'm sure it was to some level. But again, if you don't put this stuff into play, it really doesn't help you, right? Listening is one thing, but actually putting it into action and following it up on a daily consistency, you'll be amazed at what you can do. So look forward to next week, Wendy, when we get back together and finish out the 8 ways to build a winning money mindset. So folks, we'll talk to you next week and have a great day. Bye-bye.